Okay, so that's one. And the second point was view. Okay. So we are doing Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 6. We will start at text 75. Everybody okay with that? Okay. Atmaramasya tasyema vayam vai grihadasika sarvasanga nivrityadha tapsacha babhurima. Translation. Through austerity and through renunciation of all attachments, we have become made servants in the home of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is satisfied in himself. So this is being spoken to by one of the wives of Lord Krishna by the name of Lakshmana. And she's speaking to Draupadi. This is when they met in a place near Kurukshetra called Samant Panchaka, where they had gathered. And so they are meeting, they're discussing their life basically. And so Lakshmana is saying that. So I thought I will ask if everybody knows the names of the 8 chief queens, primary queens of Lord Krishna. What are the 8 queens?
Okay, I know a few, Prabhu, but not all of them.
Rukmini Mamaji, Satya Mamaji, Lakshmana.
Okay, one person, please. Just one of you. Just one. Otherwise, I can't hear. Either one is fine. Okay. Go ahead, Mataji.
So, Prabhu, with Rukmini,
Yeah.
Satyabhama,
Yeah.
Kalindi, Lakshmana, Satya. I'm missing 3 more. Okay, wait. Yamuna? No, that is Kalindi. Okay, I don't know. I forgot.
Okay. Who wants to help her?
Did I say Satya?
Yes, you did. Nandijiti, Satya, same thing. Yeah. Okay, Mitravinda, Bhadra. Right? So is that 8 or not yet?
No, one more, Prabhu. 7.
Let's do one more time. Rukmini, Satyabhama, Jambavati.
Jambavati.
Okay. And then Satya, Kalindi, Mitravinda, Bhadra, and Lakshmana. I mean, I was in the same order, but I think I got it right. So anyway, just for curiosity, so it's one of those 8 wives. The main queen is speaking to Draupadi about, and what is she saying? She's saying that through austerity, so this is austerity of the queen, and through renunciation of all attachment, meaning nothing else matters. Renounce everything else and perform the austerities just to become the maid servant of the Lord. And who's speaking? One of the chief queens is speaking, feeling so good about that she became the maid servant through the process of austerity and renunciation. So those are the 2 things emphasized always, right? In the performance of devotional service, those are the 2 points emphasized. Renounce rather, which is all the material attachments. Anything that distracts us from Krishna, renounce that. And perform austerities, because it is the main human task. One of the main reasons for getting human birth is to perform austerities. And through that, devotional service and all that. But only in human form you can really perform austerity. And so those are the 2 requirements to become the servant of Lord Krishna. Okay. 76. Aner ki katha bal dev mahashay, jar bhav shuddhi sakhe vatsalya adi may. What to speak of others? Even Lord Baladev, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is full of emotions like pure friendship and paternal love. So now they're talking about Baladev, what his mood is. The emotions are friendship and paternal. So Vatsalyaras and Sakyaras. Okay, let's see the purport to see what they're really saying. Any volunteers for that?
I can read it.
Okay, Usha, go ahead.
Perfect. Although Lord Baldeva appeared before the birth of Lord Krishna and is therefore Krishna's worshipable elder brother, he used to act as Krishna's eternal servitor. In the spiritual sky, all the Vaikuntha planets are predominated by quadruple expansions of Krishna known as Chaturvayuva. They are direct expansions from Baldeva. It is the singularity of Supreme Lord that everyone in the spiritual side thinks himself as creator of the according to social convention. One may be superior to Krishna, but factually, everyone engages in his service. Therefore, in the spiritual sky or the material sky, in all different planets, no one is able to supersede Lord Krishna or demand service from him. On the contrary, everyone engages in service of Lord Krishna. As such, the more a person engages in the service of Lord, the more he is important. And conversely, the more one is bereft of transcendental service of Krishna, the more he invites the bad fortune of material contamination. In the material world, although materialists want to become one with God or compete with God, everyone directly or indirectly engages in the service of the Lord. The more one is forgetful of the service of Krishna, the more he is considered to be dying. Therefore, when one develops pure Krishna consciousness, he immediately develops his eternal servitorship to Krishna.
Thank you. This is such a wonderful paragraph. What more? Let's talk about this in a little more detail. Okay, so first of all, we all know who's Lord Balaram, right? He's the direct and immediate expansion of Lord Krishna, non-different from Lord Krishna in every way, except the complexion of the skin. Okay. And in this particular pastime of Krishna coming in Dwapar, he acts as the elder brother. So now there's no concept of elder and older otherwise, right? Everybody understands that, but they're all eternal. So the question of before and after doesn't come up in the spiritual world. Right? So there's no such thing as older brother, younger brother in the spiritual world. They're all eternal. But when they appear for the pastime, Lord Balaram appears before Krishna, therefore is considered by social custom an elder brother. Just like Nanda and Yashoda appear before Krishna and they play the role of parents of Lord Krishna. So similarly, Lord Balaram is playing the role of older brother. In Ram Lila, he played the role of younger brother. In Lord Chaitanya's Lila, he again plays the role of older brother. So it has nothing to do with the reality in the spiritual world. It's the role they are playing. So in this particular case with Krishna, Balaram is playing the role of older brother. And that's important to note because it says the next line says it's used to act as Krishna's eternal servitor. Now, we know the five mellows, right? Somebody just say it loud. The five mellows.
Shantaras, Vatsalyaras, Sakyaras, Dasyaras, and Prema.
Madhuri,
No.
yeah. Madhuri. Yeah. So let's take it in the order. Shantaras, Dasyaras, Sakyaras, Vatsalyaras, and Madhuri. Okay. So now, what's happening is that in Dasyaras, Shantaras is already included. In Sakyaras, Dasyaras and Shantaras is included. In Vatsalya, Shanta, Dasya, and Sakya is included. And in Madhuri, all four are included. The point is that no matter what mellow you are in, where is this active relationship? Because Shanta is no active relationship. So let's just talk about the other four, where is active relationship. Das is always included. Okay, everybody with me? So therefore, whether you are a parent, whether you're a friend, whether you're a lover, or any, uncle, auntie, or whatever, you still have the mood of serving Krishna. And actually, I read somewhere that Krishna is the only one who accepts service from the so-called superiors. So Krishna will accept service from his parents. He'll accept service from elder brother. You know the stories about Lord Balaram massaging lotus feet of Lord Krishna, right? So Krishna is the only one who accepts service from the superiors. Because everybody has that mood of serving Krishna. Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate. Everybody's coming from Krishna and everybody having the same mood as Lord Balaram, which is the eternal servitor. So Mahavishnu, and we talked about the story of Mahavishnu last week or week before that, and anybody else, any other incarnation of Krishna, they all carry that servitor mood, even though the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but with Krishna, they carry the servitor mood. And this is why when Krishna appears, all the incarnations of Krishna appear with him, and Vishnu in him kills all the demons. Krishna doesn't do that. Okay?
Hey, Prabhu, can I ask a question?
Yeah, Radha, go ahead, please.
Very stupid question, but the five moods, are they in relationship only with Krishna, or are they also in relationship with, let's say, like Narayan, like in the form of Narayan, but not with Krishna?
Yes, that's not a silly question. That's a very good question. So the answer is yes. However, it's like a yes but answer. In the spiritual world, except Golok Vrindavan, the mood is awe and reverence with full understanding of the opulence of the Lord. You agree with that?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So everybody knows Lord Narayan is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and they treat him like that. So he's the master of the masters, Lord of the lords. Therefore, it's a very formal relationship. Everybody's standing there with hands folded, asking how they can serve him. So the predominant relationship is Dasiras. There's no Sakha of Lord Narayan. There's no Sakha of Lord Vishnu. There's no Sakha of Lord Nrsimhadev, etc., etc. Okay? Everybody's Das. Now, there is little bit of Madhurya, because Lakshmi is Madhurya, right? But Lakshmi is so aware, so conscious, so cognizant of the supreme lordship of her husband. What is she always doing? We only see one picture. With Lakshmi Narayan or Lakshmi Vishnu, it's only one picture. She's sitting at the lotus feet of the Lord who's lying down. She's massaging his lotus feet. Right? Have you seen any other kind of picture? We have seen them hugging together. We ever seen them playing together? Have we ever seen them embracing each other? No. She's always sitting there at the lotus feet. Because that's the formality of the relationship. So Madhurya is there, but so small amount. It's totally overwhelmed by the sense of awe and reverence or sense of opulence. So yes, there, but just for the name. Okay, does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Sure. Everybody okay, or does anybody have any other comments or questions?
Just one question relating to the context we are reading right now.
Uh-huh.
Prabhuji, can I ask you I think I've heard three friends who have Krishna have like maintained friendship with. I think Uddhav, Arjun, and there's one more. Ketav? I don't know. There's Uddhav, Arjun, and there's one more, the person that he maintains friendship with.
So like I know Sudama came much later, his childhood friend. He came much later. There may be others, I'm not sure who you're thinking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Prabhuji, yeah.
Okay, yeah. All right. Okay, so let's keep going then. So it says, according to social convention, one may be superior to Krishna, but factually, everyone engages in service. So that's what we talked about. Okay. Now, whether it's in the material world or the spiritual world, nobody is greater than Krishna. So there's a verse in the Shvetashvata Upanishad. It says, Natasya karyam karanam cha vidyate, natasya samo abhyadhikasya dishyate. There's nobody equal to or greater than Krishna, no matter who you are. Okay? So therefore, nobody can supersede or demand service from him. Well, when I read that, I said, wait a minute. All the rascals in the material world demand service from him. Everybody thinks he's the order carrier. Krishna, give me money, give me son-in-law, daughter-in-law, husband, wife, brother, sister, property. They always ask him. But that's not the same thing. They think they are demanding, but they're not demanding. They're still begging. But the mood is demanding. It doesn't count. And Krishna is not obliged to give them what they are demanding. So therefore, it's not the same kind of demanding. It's like illusion. We think we can control Krishna. We think we can advise Krishna what to do. We think we can tell Krishna what's best for us, but he doesn't know. We can tell Krishna how great we are. That's all illusion. Okay? Okay. So on the contrary, okay, sorry. Basically saying you may think you're the master, but you're all engaged in the service of Krishna because that is the nature of the soul. Jiva Swarup hoy, Krishna Nityadas. Okay? All right. As such, the more a person engages in the service of the Lord, the more he's important. This is the interesting thing about the spiritual world. Dasana, Das is more important than the master. What does Lord Vishnu tell Durvasa Muni? When he's running away from the Sudarshan Chakra, goes to Brahma, goes to Shiva, nobody's giving shelter, finally comes to Lord Vishnu. He says, you said anybody who surrenders to you, you will protect. So I surrender to you, you protect me. And Lord Vishnu says, wonderful verse. He says, Aham Bhakta Paradhino, Nahi Swatantra Ivduja, Sadhuvir Grasta Hridayo, Bhaktar Bhakta Janai Priya. He's saying that, my dear Durvasa, I'm sorry. I have no independence. I'm Paradhin means I'm totally under the control of somebody else. Well, Lord Vishnu, how much control? So as much control as a little bird in a cage has is under the control of. So the bird in the cage has no freedom. Maybe a foot here, a foot there, that's it. Still the confines of the cage. And that I'm captured just like that in the hearts of my devotees. And therefore I have no freedom. And therefore, my dear Durvasa, I cannot help you. And then he adds, a devotee doesn't know anyone but me. And I don't know anyone but the devotee. I'm in his heart, and they are in my heart. So the point being made is that Krishna is saying that the devotee of my devotee is superior to me even. He also says in a different place, I forget the verse now, it's 11th canto. He says, the person who says I'm a devotee of Krishna is not my devotee. But the person who says I'm the devotee of Krishna is my devotee. Even Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj Prabhupada had this habit. If somebody came to him and said, Maharaj, please give me initiation. And he'll always ask, what is your identity? Who are you? If the person said, I'm a servant of Krishna, he'll send him to the kitchen to wash pots. If somebody said, I'm a servant of Krishna, he said, okay, you're ready for initiation. So he was also always making the point that the servant of the servant is greater than the servant and the Lord. Okay, is that point clear? So he's saying the servant is more important. And conversely, the more one is bereft of the transcendental service of Krishna, the more he invites the bad fortune of material contamination. So when you turn away from Krishna and say, I don't want to serve Krishna, I want to be the Lord myself, that's when Maya bounces upon you. It says, Charitamrita, how does it go? Krishna bholi bhog vancha kare, nikat sthe maya tare jhapatiya dhare. Whoever turns his face away from Krishna and desires material happiness or self gratification, Maya, which is standing right nearby, pounces upon him like a cat pounces upon a rat or a mouse and takes it completely under her control. And that's when the material contamination begins. So that's the point being made here. Material contamination begins as soon as we become bereft of the service of Lord Krishna. And that's what we did way back when we had the choice of either staying in the service of Krishna or jumping the other side in the service of Maya. And that one mistake, we're still paying for it billions of lifetimes later. So that contamination has got us. Contamination acts like a Velcro. It catches you. Now you can't go. Okay. Yeah, Gayatri, you have a question.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Krishna?
If like we're supposed to consider everybody devotee, what should you can't help when you see somebody do something wrong, or if you find somebody is mistreating you, what should your attitude be towards that, so that you're not being offensive in any way?
No, wait a minute. You have two different questions. So I want to make sure I get the right question. You said somebody's doing something wrong. That's one. Somebody's offending you. That's two. So which one are we talking about? And your mind is the same.
I think I'm saying both. Sometimes they're not personally doing something to you. Sometimes a devotee might personally do something to you that brings on, harbors some negative feelings, and you don't know what to do with that. And then if you see or you become aware of somebody doing something wrong, and that also affects you, right? Because you might have some high regards for this person, and so how to I don't know, channel those emotions and feelings we might develop.
Okay. So it's a little bit out of context of what we're talking about, but I'll answer it.
Thank
Sure. So it's still two different questions. So let me answer them separately. Somebody's doing something wrong and you want to do something about it, which is not affecting you. Well, I have to ask you, who gave you the right? Why is it your business? Who made you the judge? Why do you want to get involved? Right? Unless you have a relationship with the person where they look at you with great degree of respect, love, and trust, and then in a loving, trusting mood, you can do that, yes. But the relationship is formal or really doesn't exist, it's none of your business. So don't get involved. So that's one. Now, if it's directly affecting you and you're offended, then you have every right to stand up for your rights. Standing up for your rights doesn't mean you start punching him in the face. Standing up for your rights means telling the person in a nice way you're offended, you wish he or she would stop. And if they have a concern about you, if they have complaint against you, just talk like devotees and we figure something out. But you don't, humble doesn't mean you become the straw on the street and the rug on the floor and anybody can walk all over you. That's not what humility is. The Radha Vishnu does not mean that.
Okay. Okay.
But please don't punch anybody in the face. That was just a quick speech. Okay.
I have yet to do that ever in my life, Prabhu. And
Oh,
I
good.
hope I never to do
Good.
that.
So there's hope for you. Okay. All right.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, can I ask you?
Hare Krishna. Yes, please go ahead.
So you said we made a mistake and we are paying a price for it, correct? Like we are here in the material world.
Yes, yes.
So my question is, where were we when we made the choice? Because like from the scriptures, we understand that there is no fall down from the spiritual world.
Oh, Mataji, please don't go there. It's a very controversial question. And
Okay.
so let's just say there are two theories. One
Okay.
says you were there, you made the mistake of making the other choice, therefore you fell down. There's another question, how is that possible? The second theory is that you were at the door, neither inside nor outside, and you chose to jump outside. So take the one you like, but there's no answer I have for you that if you're not supposed to fall down, then how did you fall down? I don't know. Prabhupada was asked that question multiple times, and every time his answer was, don't worry about where you came from, worry about where you have to go back and how you do that. So that's what we should focus on. How do
Okay.
you go back? Okay?
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
it's too
Thank you so
late
much.
to worry about where we came from and how did we end up here.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Sorry,
Thank
I
you
hope
so
you're
much.
not offended. I'm just saying that this is no answer to that question.
Okay. Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Sure, no problem. Okay. Okay, in the material world, although materialists want to become one with God or compete with God basically saying that they take all the credit. I'm the enjoyer, I'm the controller, I'm the proprietor, I'm the owner, and I can do whatever I like. I control the results. That's competing with God. Okay? So no matter who you are, somehow or other, you're still serving the Lord. So to go back to the verse of Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, text 11, it says, Je jatha mam prapadyante, tams tatha bhajamyaham. Mam vartanam vartante, vartaman vartante, manushya pasavasha. Second line is saying, basically, my dear Arjun, everybody's serving me, either directly or through Maya. But everybody's serving me. So if you're serving Maya, you're still serving me because Maya is my potency. So no matter who we think we are, no matter what kind of illusion we are in, we are still serving Krishna. You may not think so, you may feel otherwise, but you are serving Krishna. As a matter of fact, everybody's serving somebody or the other anyway. Okay? Is that point clear or is that confused? Somebody say yes or no?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes,
See.
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Okay, good. Thank you. The more one is forgetful of the service of Krishna, the more is considered to be dying. So this is called the spiritual death. The more you forget Krishna, the more you will remember Maya. The more you remember Maya, the more entangled you will be. That means you're piling upon more and more contamination on your consciousness. It gets caked in to the degree when you just simply cannot remember Krishna anymore even if you wanted to. And that's called spiritual death because you basically disconnected completely or as completely as possible with Krishna. That's called spiritual death. Therefore, when one develops pure Krishna consciousness, he immediately develops his eternal servitorship to Krishna. So that means pure devotion means the contamination is gone, the dust is gone. Cheto Darpan Marjan has been totally effective. Now, with clear consciousness, you become Krishna conscious. And then you revive your feeling and nature, the intrinsic nature of servitorship to Krishna. That's what. Questions or comments on this one? Okay. 77.
Sorry, Prabhuji. I was just gonna say, I was just gonna add a comment to that.
Please go ahead.
I believe it's, I don't know, maybe it's in the Nectar of Instructions. There's a term that Rupa Goswami uses. It's like, I don't know if it's Atyahara or something like that, where he says you become the killer of the soul.
Atmaha.
Atmaha, yes, where you become the killer of the soul when you do these things. Like even though Krishna says the soul can't be killed, these are the things that make us forget who we are,
Correct.
right?
Correct. The
Thank
killer of the soul. Yes. That's metaphorically speaking, obviously, but yeah. Okay. All right. So let's do 77. Teho aap naake kare ne das bhavna, Krishna das bhav binu ache kaun jana. He also considers himself a servant of Lord Krishna. Now we're talking about Lord Balaram. Indeed, who's there who does not have this conception of being a servant of Lord Krishna? So the only people who are there with the conception of not being servant are the materialist people who are totally ignorant of their own nature. The 78. Sahastra badane jehot shesh sankarshan dashade dhari kare krishnere sevan. He who's Shesha, Sankarshan, with his thousands of mouths, serves Sri Krishna by assuming 10 forms. So anybody knows what those 10 forms are?
Prabhuji, Dashavatar.
No.
Vish-
No.
The Narayan, all those.
No.
Sankar-
This Sankarshan himself, like Lord Balaram himself, takes 10 different forms to serve Krishna.
What do you mean he comes as Balaram and
Okay.
then he comes as Lakshman?
No. So he comes as bed.
Paraphernalia, bed, and everything.
Correct.
Oh, you mean that? Okay.
That's
Okay.
right.
Mm.
So it's the bed, it's the pillow, it's the umbrella, it's the shoes, it's the paraphernalia, it's the sacred thread, it's the clothes. Okay, I have just 10. And so he takes all those forms to serve Krishna. Okay. So it's not, basically the point being made here is that it's not satisfied chanting the glories of the Lord from his thousands of mouths since time immemorial. He's not happy, satisfied with that. We get tired after, 2 hours of chanting, and if we have to go to a program on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we say, oh, too much, right? But here's Lord Sheshnath, since time immemorial, with thousands of his mouths, chanting and serving in all these forms. And then why is he called Shesh? Why is he called Shesh? Because Shesh means remainder.
Because he's a servitor, like Sesha means like,
Shesha means remainder.
huh?
Remainder. What is
Yeah.
what's left?
Yeah.
So why is he called that?
Prabhuji, it means that any other service left after doing whatever he's
exactly.
done. Yeah,
After
so
doing
that is
all
meaningless.
this, if there's anything left, he takes that also. That's called Shesha. So he appears like Balaram appears as the spiritual world, Holy Dham, right? Everything in it. So he's doing everything. And if everything is left, he takes this form called Shesha, just chants the glories. Okay. So that personality is also considering himself the servant. Let's keep going. Ananta Brahmande Rudra Sadashiva Ansh Gunavatar Teho Sarva Deva Avatans. Translation: Rudra, who is an expansion of Sadashiva and who appears in unlimited universes, is also Gunavatar, qualitative incarnation, and is the ornament of all the demigods in the endless universes. Now, this is a very complicated one, so let's pay attention here. First of all, who are the qualitative incarnations, Gunavatars? How many and who they are?
Brahma, Vishnu, and
Yes,
Mahesh.
Ms. Palivata, you're right. So, can you explain a little bit more which quality do they represent?
So Brahma represents a quality of passion, and Vishnu the mode of goodness, Satagun, and Mahesh, Shiva, is a mode of ignorance, Tamas.
Right. So Vishnu cannot be mode of goodness. Just a very subtle point. Because mode of goodness is material, right?
Yeah, Vishuddha Sattva, so above
Yes.
transcendental to
Yes.
that.
I just want to make sure we all heard that. It's pure goodness. Vishuddha Sattva. Okay?
My apologies, bro.
No, Mataji. I'm sorry. I just spoke on that because I want to make sure everybody else understands the difference. I know you did. Okay? So let's continue. There are 11 expansions of Rudra or Lord Shiva. Okay? We know about 11 Rudras and the names are given here. Sorry, I'm sorry. I should have somebody read it. Yes, somebody wants to read this?
I will read it, Prabhuji.
Please go ahead.
There are 11 expansions of Rudra or Lord Shiva. They are as follows: Ajay Kapat, Ahibradhana, Virupaksha Raivat Hara, Bahurupa, Deva Shrestha, Trayambaka, Savitra, Jayanta, Pinaki, and Aparajita. Besides these expansions, there are 8 forms of Rudra called earth, water, fire, air, sky, the sun, the moon, and the Somayaji. Generally, all these Rudras have 5 faces, 3 eyes, and 10 arms. Sometimes it is found that Rudra is compared to Brahma and considered a living entity. But when Rudra is explained to be a partial expansion of Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is compared to Shesha. Lord Shiva is therefore simultaneously an expansion of Lord Vishnu and in his capacity for annihilating the creation, one of the living entities. As an expansion of Lord Vishnu, he is called Hara, and he is transcendental to the material qualities. But when he is in touch with Tamo Gun, he appears contaminated by the material modes of nature. This is explained in Srimad Bhagavatam and Brahma Samhita. In the Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto, it is stated that Lord Rudra is always associated with the material nature when she is in the neutral, unmanifested stage. But when the modes of material nature are agitated, he associates with material nature from a distance. In the Brahma Samhita, the relationship between Vishnu and Lord Shiva is compared to that of a milk and a yogurt. Milk is converted into yogurt by certain additives. But although milk and yogurt have the same ingredients, they have different functions. Similarly, Lord Shiva is an expansion of Lord Vishnu, yet because of his taking part in the annihilation of the cosmic manifestation, he is considered to be changed, like milk converted into yogurt. In the Puranas, it is found that Durga appears sometimes from the heads of Brahma and sometimes from the heads of Vishnu. The annihilator Rudra is born from Shankarsana and the ultimate fire to burn the whole creation. In the Vayu Puran, there is a description of Sadashiv in one of the Vaikuntha planets. That Sadashiv is a direct expansion of Lord Krishna's form for pastimes. It is said that Sadashiv, Lord Shambhu, is an expansion from the Sadashiv in the Vaikuntha planet's Lord Vishnu, and that his consort Mahamaya is an expansion of Rama Devi or Lakshmi. Mahamaya is the origin or birthplace of material nature.
Okay, so tell me who's not confused, because this is very confusing paragraph. And so let me simplify it by ignoring the confusing parts, because different Puranas are giving contradictory, if not contradictory, at least different versions of who Lord Shiva really is. So let's stay with Srimad Bhagavatam and Brahma Samhita. What does Brahma Samhita say, and what does Srimad Bhagavatam say about Lord Vishnu? Okay, otherwise it's too hard to explain, because why are the other Puranas saying something like that? I'm not sure. Okay, so if that's okay, then let's explain this. That in Srimad Bhagavatam, it says that Lord Shiva appeared from the forehead of, excuse me, of Lord Brahma. And the story given is that in the beginning, Lord Brahma asked his 4 sons, the Kumaras, to increase the progeny, because that's the role Brahma has been given, to increase the population. And he said, I can't do it alone, so I need your help. So please, start producing children. And they refused. They disobeyed their father. So, I mean, these days it's common. Children don't obey their parents, and they always ask why and this and that and do what they want. But in the old days, especially that many days, years ago, it was like absolutely unheard of. And so when Brahma heard that his own children are saying no to him, he was so angry. He was trying to control his anger, that controlling that anger, his forehead burst and came out a baby, blue in color and crying. And because the baby was crying and asking, who am I? He was given the name Rudra. So that's how the appearance of Lord Shiva is given in Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam also describes him as Mother Pallavi was saying before, a qualitative expansion in the mode of ignorance. Okay, so that's the one we go with. Second expression is given in Brahma Samhita, which is the other book we follow. There it says, Kshiram yatha tadi vikar vishesh yoga, samjayate nahi tatha pathakaste hetu, yashamutam api tatha samavrat karyat, govindam adi purusham tamaham. It says that just like milk turns into yogurt by adding some contaminations like the alkaline, similarly, Lord Krishna turns into Lord Shiva by the touch of the Maya, but it's done for a very special activity. So that's what Brahma Samhita says. So from Brahma Samhita, we know his qualitative expansion of Lord Krishna. And from Srimad Bhagavatam, we know that he was born from the forehead of Brahma. So that's the one we go with to remove the confusion. And then we can further explain the difference between milk and yogurt, in that milk has all the qualities of yogurt. Yogurt also has almost all the qualities of milk, but milk can become yogurt, yogurt can never become milk. The best it can do is become lassi, which is not the same thing. So therefore, Shiv Tattva is not Jiv Tattva, it's not Vishnu Tattva. It's something in between. That's the yoga. So it's not Jiv Tattva, it's not Vishnu Tattva, it's Shiv Tattva. It's somewhere in between. Okay. So to keep it simple, that's what we need to. Right? And then, of course, one of the tasks that Lord Shiva has is the annihilation of the material world when the time comes. So every night of Brahma, some parts are destroyed, and every time Brahma dies, everything is destroyed. That's taken care of by Lord Shiva in his Rudra form. Okay. Is that clear? Is that confusing?
Prabhuji,
Huh.
Lord Shiva is responsible for annihilation only until the daytime of Brahma, when half of the annihilation is done.
So this
But
two annihilation, this partial annihilation, and this full annihilation.
Correct.
Partial annihilation happens every night of Brahma. And
Yes.
all the planetary systems except the top three. So the Brahmalok, Tapalok, and Janlok is saved. Everything below that is destroyed. When Brahma dies, then everything is destroyed. The material disappears.
And Lord Shiva also, every demigod.
Well, so he goes to the Sadashiva Lok. But there's nothing left in the material world. Material world finishes.
Yes. Okay, Prabhuji.
Anybody else with any questions?
Prabhuji, I got a bit confused between, when you said he's not Jiva Tattva or Vishnu Tattva.
Huh.
But how is that different from, like devotees that are in the Vaikuntha planets? Is he different from them too? Because those
all those devotees are Jiv Tattva and they're Shakti Tattva. That's it.
Oh, they're Jiva Tattvas.
Of course they are. Who else do you think they will be?
I have no idea. I didn't know.
So
Because they're
remember,
different from, I feel like they're different from us. So-
remember, we said at the beginning of time, we're standing on a fence. Some of us jumped on one side, some of us jumped on the other side, but they were the same ones.
Okay, yes,
Right?
yes, that's
They're
right.
all Mameva Jiva Loka, Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. They're all that. Just one is Nitya Siddha, one is Nitya Baddha, depending on which side we jumped. But that was the same.
Okay,
Right?
okay. So he's unique. He's the only of his type. Yes,
Yeah, he's
in
the
some
only one
sense.
who's type. Yeah, correct. That's correct. That's
Okay.
why the special mention of him, text 45 Brahma Samhita. Right? If you get a chance, take a look at it.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure. Anybody else? Okay.
Sorry, I have
Go
a
ahead.
question.
Ah.
So you were talking about the Gunavataras. Just wanted to get a little bit more clarification. So, like each of these three forms, Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh, they are still within the, how do I put it? So they are affected by these three modes, or they are beyond
No,
it, and
no,
is
no.
it
This
their
is what it
primary?
looks like. Brahma is such a pure devotee. Krishna actually plays flute into his heart to give him the knowledge of the Vedas. Brahma is also the head of our sampradaya. So can our head of our sampradaya be in mode of passion?
No, yeah, that's what I wanted to know.
So he's in charge of.
In charge of. Okay.
Right? He's affected only to this degree that you need to be in mode of passion to create. That's the quality of mode of passion.
Okay.
So he's that, yes, no question about it.
Mm.
Otherwise, he could not be creating.
Yeah.
But the side effects of the mode of passion, they're not there.
Okay. Because yeah, that's what I believe. Like all of these three are actually, somebody asked me a very thought-provoking question that like हम जो इंद्र को बोलते हैं कि इंद्र ने ये किया, इंद्र को
Some people do not understand Hindi. Some
Oh,
people
sorry.
call do not understand Hindi.
Yeah. So there are a lot of questions, especially about Indra, like his activities mostly when someone is doing tapasya or someone is doing some austerity, he gets agitated and he does something so that he breaks he breaks his tapa or penance. So normally when we talk about Indra, or when his reference come in certain narration or the stories, it's like in a way that he is someone who is much lower. But if
What?
he is at much lower level, when we are in general in the narration, he's portrayed as someone who is not so positive character.
Okay.
But if we look at it like in general, we are giving such a pedestal to Guru Maharaj and all this. So compared to that, Indra is also a very high, like it requires quite good fortune to be there. So there is still some level of austerity with him. So he should not be completely disregarded as someone who is not, how do I put it? Who's pretty who is at a very low pedestal, who is doing something wrong. So maybe for that particular moment, that particular instance, and that's is just more for a reference rather than in reality.
Okay. I agree.
Yeah. So like similarly here, like Brahma, Vishnu. So all of these three are beyond the three modes, but primarily they might be just controlling or representative of those three modes. So that is my
No,
understanding.
they're not representative. They're in charge of.
In charge. Sorry, in charge.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're not representatives much lower. They're in charge of.
Yeah. In charge of individual
Yeah.
modes. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Prabhu, so
Uh-huh.
if they are in charge, but they are not affected by that, right? They are
No,
not affected.
So that's what I'm saying. So let's talk about Brahma. Okay. If Brahma is not affected by mode of passion, he will not do creation. So you need to be in mode of passion to create. That's the characteristic of mode of passion. What I was saying was that, but they're not negatively impacted. There are many bad things about mode of passion. That's what he's not affected by. But the one main ingredient of mode of passion is to create. And he's creating that. That's why it's mode of passion.
Uh-huh.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, and how about Lord Shiva? Is he affected by the mode of
So again, let's
ignorance?
talk about that. Yes and no. No, he's not, because he's also pure devotee. He's topmost Vaishnava. Vaishnava Nam Yatha Shambhu. He's the topmost Vaishnava, which means the best of the Vaishnavas, best of the devotees. How can he be in mode of ignorance, right?
Exactly.
So the answer is no to that. However, who does he associate with? Ghosts, goblins, drunkards, all the rascals. That association puts him in mode of ignorance. But again, he's not affected, like his main character doesn't change. But he's playing the role.
But yeah, and this role is given by Krishna.
By Krishna, that's what I'm saying.
To him.
But Lord Shiva is also doing the role of being Shankaracharya, become an impersonalist, make everybody impersonalist. So he's obeying the orders.
Only, yeah.
But that doesn't mean that inherently is affected. And that's the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah. Just like Krishna also has all the energies, material energy, spiritual energy, but he is not affected by his material energy.
Correct. He's at a distance. And actually, in the purport that we just finished reading, there was a line that when the material nature manifests, she was away from her. Right? He's in touch with it, but it's unmanifested. But away from her, which is manifest. So again,
Exactly.
not affected.
He's the creator, but he doesn't get affected with all.
Correct.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu.
Okay. So everybody clear? Is there any other questions? Because they are small things, but nice to know the concept.
Babaji, there is an instance where Brahmaji does get affected by the mood of passion, right?
Correct. And what does he do?
He runs after his daughter.
I don't know, but what does he do after he realizing he made a mistake?
He's sorry.
He's repents.
He left his body, Prabhu. He sheds his body.
So actually, Radhara Swami explains, he did not leave his body. He left the tendency, the consciousness, correct. So yes, he got affected. But very temporary, very short amount of time, and only once. But yes, he did get affected. Because again, who's Brahma? What tattva is Brahma?
He's in the
Jeev
moment.
Tattva.
I'm sorry?
Jeev Tattva.
Jeev
Jeev
Tattva,
Tattva,
exactly.
Jeev
Jeev
Tattva.
Tattva is fallible, right? So it did happen, but only once.
But he actually gets affected because he stole all the gwalas and
Yeah, so he got put under illusion. So that's Krishna's illusory energy acting upon him, which makes the point that Maya is so strong it can affect even Lord Brahma.
yeah,
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
that was the second time.
And Prabhuji, this is somebody who you, like you just said,
Who's our
was
head?
given the knowledge. No, like you just said, this is somebody who got knowledge by
Yep,
hearing the flute,
correct.
and
And
like you
disciples
hear
of
all
Narad
these
Muni.
stories. Yeah, like it's
That's the whole point. So who are we?
yeah,
The only way we
yeah,
can escape the clutches of Maya is Maya, Mamev je prapadyante, Maya etantarante. That we totally surrender to Krishna. That's the only hope.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely right. One slip and you're gone. Okay, text 80.
Prabhuji,
I'm sorry, Pallavi Mataji, go ahead, please.
can I ask you a question about Lord Shiva?
Yes, of course you can. Yeah.
Since we're talking about Lord Shiva, like, we know in that Brahmajyoti poster, what we see, right?
I'm sorry.
The Brahmajyoti poster, which we see in ISKCON, like the BBT Brahmajyoti, where it shows all the universes
Okay.
and the Brahmanda.
Okay.
In that poster, the Kailash is shown above the Viraja river. So essentially, if it's above the Viraja river, it's a spiritual world, correct?
Right.
So does that mean, like, if a living entity aspires to go to Kailash, he does not fall down?
Well, so if you go to the Kailash that's in the spiritual world, no, you won't. But there's a
Okay.
Kailash in the material world also, you will. You might even
Okay.
fall from the Kailash Parvat. You slip,
Right.
right?
So,
yeah, go ahead.
and the joining question is, so from there, the living entity, can the living entity endeavor to go higher to, like, serve Krishna and go higher?
So theoretically, the answer is yes. But the practical thing is that somebody who's trying so hard to go to serve Lord Shiva, then he's happy serving Lord Shiva. Why would he want to go anywhere else? It's like people in Vaikuntha also can go to Golok Vrindavan. But why would they? Because they got there because they wanted to be there. They want to serve Lord
Okay.
Vishnu, Lord Narayan in the mood of awe and reverence. And they're very happy having gotten there. So there's no
Okay.
desire to go. But they can. Theoretically, yes. But
Okay.
practically, nobody does.
So it depends on their mood. That's why they want
So
to
Mother
go to
Lakshmi
Kailash.
did develop that mood. But that's the only personality we know of who developed that mood. Others are happy being there because that's where they wanted to go.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Prabhuji, just on a side note, so nobody has ever summited Mount Kailash ever. I was watching, we were talking about Mount, like Kailash Parvat. Mount Kailash has never been summited. Nobody's ever gone up that mountain ever.
Okay.
Just to give an idea that even physically you can't climb it.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I have a difficult time walking up a hill. So, like, I'm talking about hill in Canada. So forget Mount Kailash. Okay, let's keep going. Text 81. Sorry, I want to go back to 80. Teho karen Krishner das se pratyash nirantar kahe Shiva mohi Krishna das. So Lord Shiva is saying he also desires only to be a servant of Lord Krishna. Shadashiva also says, I am a servant of Lord Krishna. Like, I am a servant of Lord Krishna, like with great pride. Let the whole world know I'm a servant of Krishna. Thump your chest. Hey world, I'm a servant of Krishna. That's how proud. Yeah, this is called true ego. By the way, we all are true servants of Krishna, but we don't always declare it. Sometimes we brag about it. That's different. Okay, 81. Krishna preme unmatta vihwal digambar. Krishna gun Lila gaye. Nache Nirantar. So Lord continues, Lord Shiva, what's he doing? Intoxicated by ecstatic love for Lord Krishna, he becomes overwhelmed and incessantly dances without clothing and sings about Lord Krishna's qualities and pastimes. Now, for Lord Shiva, it's easy to be without clothes, right? But what's he wearing normally? What does Lord Shiva wear?
Tiger skin.
Tiger skin, that's it. That's one piece. It's tied around his waist. He's just so excited, jumping up and down. When it comes off, he's not aware of it. He's just dancing in ecstasy. And he's not trying to be vulgar. He's not trying to show off. Just so much ecstasy. He doesn't realize. Okay. 82. पिता माता गुरु सखा भाव के ने नय कृष्ण पे मेरे स्वभाव दास भाव से करे. All the emotions, whether those of father, mother, teacher, or friend, are full of sentiments of servitude. This is the nature of love of Krishna. So we talked a little bit about that along the same lines, talk about the 5 mellows. So no matter who you are, you still have the mood to serve Krishna. The sentiment of servitude is there. So whether you are Sandipani Muni or Nanda Maharaj or Vasudeva, right? Or you're Lord Balaram or Akrura or whomever, you always have that mood. That is the nature of love of Krishna. 83. एक कृष्ण सर्वसेव जगत ईश्वर आर्जत सबतार sevak anuchar. Lord Krishna, the one master and the Lord of the universe, is worthy of being served by everyone. Indeed, everyone is but a servant of life, of the servants. So everybody is servant of the servant. There's another very famous verse, Chaitanya that says, Akala Ishwar Krishna ar sababhratya. Jare jache nachaye tar tache kare nitya. Only Krishna is the master. Everybody, no exception. Everybody is a servant or servant of the servant. Whichever way Krishna wants you to dance, you will be dancing to that tune of Krishna, like a puppet. So again, Lord Shiva is carrying the same mood. He's the master, I'm the servant. Everybody is servant of the servant. What did Lord Chaitanya say about his identity? Naham Vipro, Nacha Narpati, Napi Vaishyo, Nashudro. Naham Varni, Nacha Grihapati, no Vanastho, Yatirva. I'm not a Brahmin, not a Kshatriya, I'm not a Vaishya, I'm not a Shudra. I'm not a Brahmachari, I'm not a Grihastha, I'm not Vanprastha, and I'm not Sannyasi. Well, then who are you? Take care of all the 4 varnas, 4 ashrams already. Who are you? Lord Chaitanya says, Kintu Prodhan Nikhil Paramanand Purnatapdhere Gopi Bhartur Padakamalyor Das Dasamdas. I'm the servant of the servant of the servant of the husband of the gopis, who's full, extremely full with the nectar of pleasure. So our identity is the servant of the servant of the servant of Lord Krishna. Lord Chaitanya also says, Krishna, as Lord Chaitanya said that. Okay? So we are all servants of the servant. Whether we realize it or not, whether we accept it or not, whichever way we act, doesn't matter. The truth is, we're the servant of the servant of the servant. It's better if we act like that. If we don't, we get contaminated by Maya, but the fact doesn't change. It's like a crow can wear white sheets, but the crow does not become a swan. And how do we know it's a crow? When it talks. When it's cawing, then you know it's a crow. As soon as the crow opens its mouth, you know it's a crow, it's not a swan. And same thing, non-devotees and devotees. As soon as they open their mouth, you know who's a devotee, who's not a devotee. Okay. It's like somebody said, we were not sure if this guy, somebody talking about somebody, we were not sure if this guy is a fool. But then he opened his mouth and removed all doubts. Right? So that's just like that. A devotee opens his mouth, a non-devotee opens his mouth. Such a difference goes right away. Who's a devotee, who's not a devotee. You can have the same dress, tilak, saffron clothes, everything else, shikha and everything, shaved head, it doesn't matter. When you open your mouth, you know. Okay. 84. Say Krishna avatirna Chaitanya Ishwar Ateva Arsabha Tahar Kinkars. Now he's saying the same Lord Krishna has descended as Lord Chaitanya. No difference. The Supreme Personality of Godhead. Everyone therefore is servant. So everybody is servant of Lord Chaitanya. Because Lord Chaitanya is Krishna. Then very interesting 85. Kehu mane, kehu na mane, sabatar das, jena mane tar hoy sahi pape nash. Beautiful. Saying some accept him, whereas others do not. Like some accept as the master, others do not. Yet, everyone is his servant. You agree or not, you accept or not, you ignore or not, you still servant. One who does not accept him, however, will be ruined by sinful activities. So don't accept him as the Lord, don't work for him, you work for Maya, sinful activities. Even the pious activities are sinful activities. Everybody agree with that? Pious activities are sinful activities.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes. So let's read the purport now.
Shall I read, Prabhuji?
Please go ahead.
When a living entity forgets his constitutional position, he prepares himself to be an enjoyer of the material resources. Sometimes he is also misguided by the thought that service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead is not absolute engagement. In other words, he thinks that there are many other engagements for a living entity besides the service of the Lord. Such a foolish person does not know that in any position he either directly or indirectly engages in activities of service to the Supreme Lord. Actually, if a person does not engage in the service of the Lord, all inauspicious activities encumber him because service to the Supreme Lord, Lord Chaitanya, is the constitutional position of the infinitesimal living entities. Because the living entity is infinitesimal, the allurement of material enjoyment attracts him, and he tries to enjoy matter, forgetting his constitutional position. But when his dormant Krishna consciousness is awakened, he no longer engages in the service of matter, but engages in the service of the Lord. In other words, when one is forgetful of his constitutional position, he appears in the position of the Lord of material nature. Even at the time of he remains a servant of Supreme Lord, but in an unqualified or contaminated state. Haribol.
Thank you, bro. So, same point being made in different words. One is, what is our constitutional position? What is our constitutional position?
We are servitors, servants of Krishna.
We are the eternal servants of Krishna. So anybody, when he forgets that, and forgetting that I'm the servant, you should tell the master. And what's the role of the master? To enjoy, to control, to be the proprietor, right? So you start thinking we are all those things. And that's where the problem begins. And then that person who has forgotten that thinks that, well, bhakti is not everything. There are other activities we have to do also. Another mistake. You don't understand bhakti is on the absolute platform. There is nothing else for a living entity. Okay. No matter what we do, we're directly or indirectly serving Krishna, either through Maya, Mahamaya, or through Yoga, but you're serving Krishna no matter what. The only difference is that when you not serve Krishna, so Maya, all sorts of inauspicious results come your way. Inauspicious being karma. Good karma, bad karma, they are both inconspicuous because they take you away from Krishna. One of the biggest laments of demigods. What's the biggest lamentation of demigods? Just in general.
They don't remember Krishna
That's right. They
because
don't.
they're enjoying.
That's right. They don't have time to remember Krishna. They are so busy enjoying. They don't have time for it. So, as a matter of fact, I forget the verse now. It says that demigods desire to be born on planet Earth as human being so they can serve Krishna and go back home, back to God. Because from the heavenly abode, there's no chance. Too much enjoyment. Too much enjoyment. Okay. So the other inauspicious thing happens when we serve Maya is that we become overwhelmed. So what does Krishna says? Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, text 5, I think. Aparayam itastanyam prakritim vidhime param. Jeev bhuta mahabaho yedam dharati jagat. So in 7.4 it describes the 8 energies, right? Bhumi rapo anala vaikam mano buddhirevcha ahankar ityam mein bhinna prakriti ashta. There are 8 separated energies of mind, all material. But superior to that material energy is the living entity, the spiritual entity. But that superior energy becomes overwhelmed by the inferior energy, Maya. And thus comes under complete control of Maya. Are you with me? If not, say, I need more explanation. If yes,
Yes, Prabhuji, yes.
okay.
Yes,
Prabhu,
Prabhuji, good.
Okay, good. Alexa,
regarding the point that you just said that in the heavenly planets the demigods are always enjoying and they do not remember. But in Bhagavatam, I recently read they remember Krishna all the time. Like they remember the Lord.
not only all the time, only when they're in trouble. When they're in trouble. Oh, this demon is bothering me. This demon is bothering me. Or protect me from this or that. Otherwise, they're too busy.
Okay, I thought they only do the yagya because they know the liberation is possible on earth in an easier manner.
That's true.
That is true. But only in terms of adversities they remember Lord. Okay, I was not aware of that. Okay, fine.
I mean, yeah, they are often in adversity, but that's when they remember. They run to Brahma and say, help. They all go to Krishna. I should say.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so when we forget that we are the servant, then we think we're the master, and that causes all the problems. Then we start competing with Krishna, we consultant to Krishna, we start demanding, and we start insisting, no, we are the enjoyer, we are the proprietor, we are the controller, etc. Okay. 86. Everybody should memorize this verse, 86. Chaitanya das mohi Chaitanya das. Chaitanya das mohi tar das das. What a beautiful verse. I'm a servant of Lord Chaitanya, a servant of Lord Chaitanya. I'm a servant of Lord Chaitanya and a servant of his servants. How beautiful is that? Chaitanya das mohi Chaitanya das mohi tar das das. If nothing else from tonight, please memorize this verse and repeat to yourself all the time. Chaitanya das mohi Chaitanya das. Chaitanya das mohi tar das das. How beautiful is that?
I have a question.
Sure, go ahead.
So this is said by because speakers change without any reference. So is this by the author Krishna Goswami or who is saying this?
I'm sorry?
Who is saying this?
Oh, this is Krishnadas Kabra Singh. So when he changed from 84, when he started talking now, Sri Krishna Avatar Chaitanya Ishwar. So I'm saying that Krishna that we've been talking about all this time, he appeared as Lord Chaitanya. And so now he's talking. Krishnadas Kabra.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that was a good question. Yeah. Somebody else had a comment.
Prabhuji, I was saying it looks like Muni. M-U-N-I.
Mui. Mui means, Bengali means I.
Moi. Okay.
Yeah, it's not Muni. That would be Na.
And Taner Das, Ser Das in there. Okay.
Oh, in English, it sounds like Muni. Yeah, okay. No, so it's not. It's Mui.
Okay.
I'm sorry, because I'm reading Bengali, so I didn't notice that.
Mm.
I'm not reading
Okay.
English, so it's Mui.
Okay.
Okay. Mui means me.
Hey, Prabhu, you know to read Bengali?
Of course. You didn't know that?
What else you don't know on this planet Earth?
There's a lot of things I don't know. I don't know Tamil.
Oh my
And
goodness.
now you're going to teach me, right?
This is beautiful, Prabhu. I didn't know that you knew Bengali. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
If in English, I would have read it as Muni.
yeah, no, it's English looks like Muni, but it's Mui.
Muni.
Yeah.
Okay. And Tandra is okay. Tandra, Dasera,
No,
Dasera, Das.
no, it's tar. It's not
Tar?
tar.
Oh,
Tar.
oh my God.
Not
Okay,
tanar.
can you say that slowly, Prabhu, one time, please?
Chaitanya re das mui, Chaitanya re das, Chaitanya re das mui, tar dase re das.
Oh, thanks, Prabhu. Thank you so
No
much.
problem, no problem. Just because you asked, let me tell you the story. When I was 9 years old, my grandfather, my Nanaji, called me to the temple room and he said, sit down. I sat down, he put Chaitanya Bhagavat in front of me. Chaitanya Bhagavat is in Bengali. So I looked at him, I said, I'm from UP, I'm Hindi speaking, 9 year old, what do you want me to do? He said, read. I said, but I don't know Bengali, it's Bengali. He said, no, read. I started reading. That's it. That's how I learned it. Yeah, it's Krishna's mercy.
Absolutely, Prabhu. So amazing.
Yeah. Okay. 87. एत बोली नाचे गाए हुंकार गंभीर क्षण के बसिला आचार्य होइया सुस्ते. So again, you look at the second last word in the second line. It looks like hyena. It's haya. Haya. Okay. So saying this, Advait Prabhu dances and loudly sings. Then at the next moment, he quietly sits down. Okay, now they're back to Advaitacharya. भक्त अभिमान मूल शिबल रामे सही भावे अनुगत तार अंशगणे. The source of the sentiment of servitude is indeed Lord Balaram. The plenary expansion who follows him are all influenced by that ecstasy. So the real mood of Lord Balaram, the immediate expression of Krishna, is servant. And all the incarnations are his expansions, therefore they all carry the same mood. Lord Ram, Lord Nrsimhadev, Lord Mahavishnu, Lord Vishnu, everybody. Excuse me. It's carrying that mood of being a servant of Krishna.
Hari bol, Prabhu.
Hari bol.
So, Rama, who was he praying to? Vishnu? He's saying that he's the Vishnu of, he's the servant of Vishnu.
In Treta Yuga, people worship Hari and Narayan and Yajna Purush.
Narayana.
Yajna Purush was the Yuga avatar, so they worshipped him.
Okay, Prabhu.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sure. Okay, 88. Oh, we did that, right? The source of the sentiment of such is indeed Lord Balaram. The plenary expansions who follow him are all influenced by that ecstasy. 89. तार अवतार एक श्री संकर्षण भक्त बोली अभिमान करे सर्वक्षण. Lord Sankarshan, who's one of his incarnations, always considered himself a devotee. So Sankarshan is now the Chaturvyu. Or Chaturvyu Sankarshan. Balaram, Chaturvyu, Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. We're talking about that Sankarshan. So Tar Avatar on Shiyut Lakshmana, Shri Ramaya Dasatiyo Kail Anuchha. So that Sankarshan appears as Lakshman. And there's incarnation Lakshman, who is very beautiful, opulent, always serves Lord Ram. So we know the story about Lord Lakshman, how he served Lord Ram. Okay, 91. Sankarshan Avatar Karnabdishai Tahar Hridaya Bhakta Bhav Anujayi. The Vishnu who lies in the causal ocean, Mahavishnu, is an incarnation of Lord Sankarshan. We all know that, right? We've been through that many times. And accordingly, the emotion of being a devotee is always present in his heart. We talked about the story of how he stole the children of the Brahmin with a plan to have Krishna visit him with Arjun. So we talked about that story, right? And he said, I was just desiring to see you, and that's why I did that. So the reference is there here. 92. Tahar Prakash Bhed Advait Acharya Kaya Mano Vakitara Bhakti Sadakari. So who's Advaitacharya? Is separate expansion of Mahavishnu. And we discussed that in great detail, a couple of times actually. He always engages in devotional service with his thoughts, words, and actions. Okay. So should we stop here? And take any questions or comments? Let me put the value so I can see everybody. Okay. Any questions or comments?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. This is yeah, so this is all the slokas today. It's a servitude. It's a really all along we discuss in ISKCON also, but servitude, how all is expansion, different mood, different thing. How nicely it has been articulated. It's a bombarded basically. It's not one sloka, it's not a second sloka. All along it's been bombarded to emphasize on that how how we take it from. This is a lesson for us, right? It's not for others, it's for us. How we have to be show servitude to our Guru Maharaj, our senior devotees. This at the end of that, that's what it makes us to us. When his own expansion serves him so nicely, without any ego, anything. So what about us, right? So this is the only message.
And his Supreme God.
He's a Supreme God, yeah.
Supreme God is a servant of Krishna.
Yeah. And again, that issue of Lord Shiva Prabhuji is really a problem all along. Better not to discuss. I see that in whenever I visit here, people become really sentimental when we talk about Shiva, it's Jiva, and all that. We many times we see Brahma also. There's a Jiva Koti Brahma, there's a Ishwar Koti Brahma. Both are there. So we cannot say it's always Jiva. We cannot say it's also Ishwar. So both are there. Some place, Prabhuji, maybe I heard one of other class, I just see that Shiva also mentioned there's a Ishwar Kuti Shiva and Jiva Kuti Shiva. It was really confusing for me, Prabhuji. But in the one of the slokas, he had mentioned the Jiva, Jiva also came, few slokas earlier. So all along we, our understanding is that yogurt, curd, and all that examples you give many times, and where we have to give. So Shiva is not a Jiva. Shiva is not a Vishnu Tattva or not Jiva Tattva in between. But some places also they mention there's a Ishwar Koti, like a Brahma, Ishwar Koti of Shiva and Jiva Koti Shiva. So that also is coming up, Prabhuji.
It's possible. That's what I was saying. Different Puranas have different description of Lord Shiva and can become very confusing. And that's why I said, it's not, even the purport said he's Jiv Tattva also.
Yeah.
But my point was, it's so
That is
confusing.
the reason. Yeah.
It's so confusing that I stick with what we follow.
What we follow.
I'm not saying others are wrong.
Right.
But what we follow is Srimad Bhagavatam and Brahma Samhita. And they both talk about his appearance as the son of Brahma and his comparison with the yogurt formed from milk with the contamination of alkaline. So that's what we follow. Keep life simple, and Vashavanam is Ashambhu. So it's the top.
I think that is the Prabhuji, I always, whenever this kind of comes, he's my greatest Vaishnava, so forget about other things.
Right.
That trumps everything else.
Exactly.
That trumps everything else. Yes.
Exactly. So we're not disagreeing with anything the other Puranas are saying. We just start emphasizing that. That keeps our life simple also by removing confusion. And it's right because Srimad Bhagavatam is saying that, Brahma Samhita is saying that. So we're not wrong. But we're not saying the others are wrong. Some kalpa, some form, somewhere, some explanation, it's fine. We're not emphasizing that. It's like, I don't know if anybody recalls, one time I gave a class on Tulsi Maharaj. And my opening line was that there are many stories about Jalandhar and the curses and, how Charitamrita. They're all in Puranas, so we're not saying they're wrong. But we emphasize what Rupa Goswami emphasizes, which says Tulsi Maharaj is really an expansion of Vrinda Devi, who's an intimate friend of Radharani, and she's responsible for the pastimes of Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan Lila. And then we take it from there. So we're not saying others are wrong, because the Puranas cannot be wrong. But we just don't emphasize that. We follow our sampradaya, we follow our disciplic succession, and we follow what our acharyas have said, and we're happy with that. Not calling anybody wrong.
Prabhuji, you explained very well, very good.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Very good.
Thank you.
Excellent explanation of all shlokas.
Thank you.
You made us understand.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Everybody, please remember that verse. Anybody recall offhand?
No, that we have to remember. That's very good. That's very good.
Somebody
We
say
have
it. Who can say it without looking at the book?
Chaitanya das mui Chaitanya das mui tana dasera das.
Very good. Very good, Shalini. Very good. Very good. Thank you. Yeah, so
Thank you,
please
Prabhuji.
memorize it. It's so meaningful, so sweet and so meaningful. That's the essence of everything. Remember what's known as the king of all verses, according to, or king of all rules, actually, according to Bhagavad.
Always remember Krishna, never forget
Yes,
Krishna.
yes. The verse is in Sanskrit. The verse is Smartavyo Satatam Vishnu, Smartavyo na Jatuchit. Sarve vidhi nishedasyu et yor eva kinkara. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. And that rule is the king of all other rules. Forget all other rules. Just remember the rule. Always remember Krishna.
Perfect.
Krishna. Then to that you can add, and I'm the servant of Krishna or Lord Chaitanya. I'm servant of Krishna. I'm the servant of the servant. His servants. That's it. Your life is successful.
Yes, Prabhu, you are right.
All of you going to be promoted to
remembering
Vrindavan just by remembering that.
By remembering this shloka, we will be more servant of servants.
Yes. Yes.
We'll have that in the mind.
Yes.
That we are servant of servants.
Yeah.
If we
And
keep
just-
chanting.
That's right. If you just look at the practicality of that, if every one of us actually sincerely felt we're a servant of all others, would there be any fights?
No problem. You're
No.
right.
Will we be supporting everybody?
Yes.
Devotional service? That is ticket to back home at Godhead, isn't it? Just from
Right.
that.
What about the ego, Prabhuji?
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you remember that,
Exactly.
Chaitanya re das mai, Chaitanya re das, Chaitanya re das mai, ta das das. Right? There's no ego.
Ego
When you
will-
start das re das, ego gone.
Ego, if not gone, at least it will reduce.
Reduce.
Yes. Oh, look at that. So Sakhi Swarupa has been doing this prayer along with the son ever since the son was born. That's wonderful. She's so advanced. Amazing.
Not advanced, Prabhuji, because you always give such great emphasis. I took it from you.
No, don't transfer the credit. Take it.
Bless this
There
monkey.
you go. That's the Dauji.
Hare Krishna.
Haribol.
Haribol. Haribol.
Haribol. Yes, very good.
Haribol.
Very-
Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai Srila Prabhupada. Jai Prabhupada.
Haribol.
So cute.
That's right. That's the education from a devotee to the son.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
That's real devotee.
That's the real teachings.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Thank you,
Cute.
Prabhuji.
Thank you, Sakhi Swarupa. You are
Prabhuji,
inspiring all of us.
thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
I'm sorry. Oh, Basmataji, Hare Krishna. Thank you for joining us.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, everyone. Unless
Thank
any
you, Prabhu.
we'll stop. Hare Krishna, Usha.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Thank you so
Krishna.
much.
Hare Krishna,
Thank you
Prabhuji.
very
Thank
much.
you so much.
Pranam.
Krishna, thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you,
Hare Krishna, Radhan Prabhu, Ruchira Mataji, Hare Krishna, Nitya Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much.
You're
हरे
welcome.
कृष्णा श्री आप बंगाली में बात किया करें प्लीज
समझेगा कौन फिर?
प्लीज
बालो आजी.
हमें भी सीखनी है थोड़ा सा
हाँ,
हमारे बड़े बोलेंगे तो हम भी सीखेंगे कुछ
true. That's very true. Very true.
तो कुछ एक सेंटेंस आप हमेशा हमें होमवर्क दिया करें प्लीज
Okay, ठीक है.
ठीक है थैंक यू बहुत अच्छा लगा सुन के कि हाँ बंगाली आती है।
Thank you.
थैंक यू
प्रभु जी का बहुत
वेरी
प्रसाद।
नाइस क्लास प्रदर्शनी। हरे कृष्णा।
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. everyone.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Prabhuji,
Ah.
I just wanted to share that it's like I'm trying to surrender to Krishna, not fully surrendered yet, but because I've not taken